Thanks.
Real quick, all the injuries, and is anybody going to be opening on the PUP list?
We have 2 guys opening on PUP. Stacy McGee, recovering from his core muscle surgery in the offseason. And then Holsey had an accident, dropped something on his toe. He'll start on PUP also.
Oh, Coach, back at OTAs, you pressed the importance of the 6-week period, the guys keeping up at it before training camp started. What did you hope that they would accomplish during that time period, besides, of course, enjoying and relaxing with their families?
Well, I think they did a great job staying in shape, as evidence of them running today and their weights, making all their weights. So that's step one. Now we just got to get them out here and get them in the meeting rooms and see how they handled and retain the information from the off-season program, which I'm sure they did. But by the looks of them, their weights, and the way they ran, I'm happy the way they handled the offseason.
Josh Doxson, what's his status?
Josh is fine. He just he had a MRI on his ankle or Achilles just get it checked out, and he's fine.
Didn't show anything?
No.
Is that alarming considering the injury history with the Achilles?
Is that alarming?
Yeah.
No, nothing showed up, so why would it be alarming? We're good.
Will Jordan, Trent, those guys, will they be limited early?
We will have a plan for those guys, really mainly Jordan, Trent Williams, Morgan Moses, Ty Nseki, TJ Clemmings, Sean Dion Hamilton. We'll have a plan for these guys moving forward. There might be another 1 or 2 guys in that list, but mainly get them through individual, get them some limited team reps early, if any, and then just slowly adjust their roles as they feel better.
Coach, probably more injuries than you've ever seen in your career on a team last season. If there's any good thing from that, was it that you got to look at a lot of guys and the guys had to step in and play, and you have a bandage on your knee. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. It did help our depth, really. You got a good look at some players in key situations that are going to be asked to do the same thing this year. So it helped our depth, but obviously you never want to go through that again. And it's good to see these guys work. I'm very happy to see Chris Thompson and Morgan Moses and Ty and Trent, how much work they put in, and Phil Taylor. These guys just worked their tails off to get back into shape and get back in football shape. And they've done an excellent job of doing that. So the big thing is we're trying to take care of them out here. We got a lot of new ways to have their body recover and help them out in that regard. So we've done the best we can do as far as our due diligence, as far as helping these players recover, stay on the field, get them treated. But the players have done an excellent job of getting themselves well. So we anticipate a good year with good, healthy bodies.
Jay, roughly half the guys here won't be on your active roster. At what point do you start talking to this group about expectations? I guess how early do you go big picture and talk about the season?
Now, tonight is our first team meeting, so we're going to talk about expectations, what we think they need to accomplish to make this football team. What each position has to do to make the football team, and special teams is going to play a big part of that for a lot of these guys, so we'll see what happens. But the good thing about this football team, in my opinion, is we got a good core group of veterans that they don't need a whole lot of talking to. They know what it takes to be successful football players and a football team. Now it's a matter of us just gelling as a group and playing well on Sundays.
Will you tell us the expectations?
No.
Coach, Darius Geis already a fan favorite amongst Redskins Nation. They expect to see him prominently on the field. But what are you looking from him to prove that he belongs to have that prominent role out there on the field that the fans hope to see him become a star?
Well, you just got to, we're going to rep him, and team run and 7-on-7 and just normal progression for a rookie running back. He's got to learn it mentally. Physically, he's in great shape, strong. He can run. Saw him run out there today. Looked great running. So that's not physical. The physicality of Darius Geis is not the issue. We just got to make sure he gets it mentally. I don't think he's going to have a problem. He picked it up very fast in OTAs, didn't have any mental mistakes, did a great job. So I anticipate Darius getting plenty of looks, plenty of touches.
Jay, what's your approach to balancing being cautious with injuries, but also being able to get guys out there and getting good work, especially after last year?
$1 million question, really. Guys need to work, but we need them on the field on Sundays. So that's something that I have to communicate, A, with the trainer, and B, with the player. And the assistant coach has to know and get involved also. So they got to understand we not trying to push them back and get them re-injured, but we also have to understand that they have to practice to get themselves ready to play on Sundays against, these teams in FC East and all over the place. So there's a fine line there, but we'll have great communication with the staff, the trainers, and obviously the strength staff also, and the player.
Coach, this time last year, everybody talked about your quarterback and his contract situation. You don't have that issue this year. Can you sense a difference in the psyche of these guys even this early?
Not in that regard. No, I don't think that contract issues play a big part, really. I think once you come here, everybody's got a contract. They're playing for whether it's 1 year or 4 years. They're still trying to make this team and be productive as they can. That the contract stuff doesn't really become an issue until somebody might hold out or what have you. But we don't have that issue here, so we anticipate guys just learning the system and coming out to practice.
NFL teams in recent years kind of have gone just stayed at home for training camp. Just what do you think a reason is for that trend? And then since you guys do the opposite, you're one of 11 teams who do travel. What are kind of the benefits of that?
I don't know. I think coming to Richmond is, we reach out to some more of our fan base a little bit. It's good to get away. Got a nice setup down here at the Omni, and Montsecure's has done an excellent job at the field out here. There are benefits probably of staying home. The biggest benefit is the bubble, as you can see the rain out here. But, to me, training camp's training camp. It's all about being together as a group and fitting together and trying to get some kind of chemistry and learning a system and practicing and getting better.
You said a couple times during mini camp that it's a win now kind of mentality. Just what are the position groups that you specifically need to get there, the ones probably more so than other groups?
I have great expectations for every one of our position groups, really. I don't think we really have any glaring weaknesses. I think we've addressed a lot of them throughout the draft and free agency, and then veteran guys here, and I think our depth has been addressed. So now it's just a matter of these going out and playing together, like I said. But running back situation looks great. Quarterbacks, obviously, we feel good about. Offensive line, once we get Morgan, Ty, Trent back in the lineup, it's a different group, different looking group. Chase in his second year, I think, is going to be a great opportunity for him to progress. The tight end group, once Jordan gets back out healthy and rolling, it makes that group a heck of a lot better. Defensive line, we've addressed with Adam Duran Payne, big, strong kid, and linebackers look good. Secondary is sound and has some good depth. So punter, kicker, long snapper, doing well. So we look pretty good.
Coach, a year ago, Rob Kelly was the guy at running back, and then he had all those injuries last year, and your running game suffered. Where's Rob in the mix now? Is he start out this training camp as a starter, or is there a starter?
I think we'll just play it by ear. I think first team reps, probably Rob will get a couple, and as we start to move on, we'll get Samaje in there, and obviously, Chris Thompson working him back in the lineup, and then Darius will get his share, and Martez, and we got a good group of backs. And I think it's going to be critical to Byron Marshall, Capri Bibbs. Obviously, they're going to get their share. We have a good group of backs, and how we handle the reps, Randy Jordan will do a great job of that. Will be determined by him on a daily basis, and we'll get it figured out.
You've been to the Richmond circuit a few times now. Do you have any favorite memories of off-the-field stuff with you, the other coaches, the guys, things like that?
Not really. I don't do a whole lot of stuff off the field, and we have a coach's dinner every once in a while, but for the most part, it's all ball once we come here. It's fun to get here because we know this is the start of a great season. You have high expectations for this group, and it's exciting to see these guys get back in action, get the pads on, get the pads popping on probably Saturday, and go from there.
How quickly do you start kind of playing the numbers game and thinking about how many at each position group you're going to keep and things like that, and what point do the discussions kind of merge from the ones you're having internally as a coaching staff and then getting the front office involved?
Yeah, we try to start that, on a daily basis as soon as possible, and then, but we don't try to predetermine, we try to let these guys play and compete. Some guys won't get as many reps as others, but it's up to those guys to take advantage of those reps. And then special teams will play a critical part in it. Ben Kotwica, Brett Muncie, they'll have a lot of say in some of these roster spots. So get a look at everybody.
Do you think you've been able to progressively over your time here really establish a meritocracy where it is the best guys making it every year and kind of get rid of any other factors?
Yeah, hope so. That's the goal. We don't have any factors here other than the best player will make the football team. And anybody who knows me knows it doesn't matter if they're a first-round pick or a free agent, rookie free agent. So it doesn't matter. Everybody's going to get an opportunity. We'll play the best guy.
Coach, as many times as you've done, training camp, what do you have to remind yourself to start the season?
I just think we just got to get these guys playing together. Like I said, I think team camaraderie is a huge thing for me. Chemistry is big for me, so it's up to the players to gel, and we have to do the best we can to let them have that opportunity. But the big thing for me is to try to do my best to get these guys motivated on a daily basis so we get the best version of themselves daily and just go from there.
off of that, Coach, you're now entering your 5th season here with the Redskins. That's the longest under Snyder. What value does that offer you, since we're talking about the guys that are here, the contracts that they have, and also, since we're talking about their expectations, what do you further expect from yourself here?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of value having not a lot of change on a year-to-year basis. I think it's up to us as coaches to handle some change. We're going to adjust our scheme accordingly to the players that we have, but it's nice to come in and see Coach Minuski and Coach Cavanaugh and Coach Callahan and Coach Kotwica and Coach Jordan, have the same group. So we have a general understanding of how we want things done. We're consistent with our approach, and that doesn't change on a daily basis. My expectations is, I got to demand the best out of myself as I demand out of our players, so that doesn't change.
Jay, you mentioned some tweaks to recovery, injury prevention, that sort of thing. Just what kind of things are you guys going to try, and what's sort of the general theme of what you're hoping to accomplish?
Hey, we got a whole new recovery room built in there. Larry Hess has done a great job, and Mr. Snyder's been gracious enough to give us the opportunity to get some of these things in there. Larry might have to do a whole speech himself on all the things that we have in there, so I'll give him the podium in a minute. But we've got all kinds of recovery tanks, cryo chambers, we got foot heel stuff, we got everything. Everything, yeah. We got massage therapists, whatever you need, we got you covered to get you back on the field. We even got a Gatorade ice machine, for God's sake. So, but at the end of the day, these guys are going to have to go out there, hit some people, and show us they can play the game of football.
Coach, of course,
We got some here. We got some at the facility in Ashburn.
Of course, your focus is here with the Redskins in Richmond, but across the coast, or across the country, your brother's back in coaching. How exciting is that for the Gruden family to have both you and John back out there, bossing guys around?
Yeah, that's fun for my mom and dad. Sure, they're going to enjoy the stress of 8 hours on a Sunday afternoon. But I think it's awesome. I think John's an excellent coach. He's good for the game of football. He's good in the booth, but he's better for the game on the sideline.
Are you going to move to guard during camp?
Not yet. We got to get him on the field first. He's going to do individual and all that stuff. But right now we're going to leave him at tackle. As many tackles we went through last year, I think you can never have too many of those big boys.
Jay,
big men.
You mentioned chemistry earlier. That's important. How have you seen Alex sort of develop relationships in the locker room and stuff like that?
Smooth, effortless. Doesn't go out of his way to try to do that. I think people gravitate towards him. He's a natural leader. We'll see. I don't think that's ever going to be an issue with him. It never has been. Just the body of work that he's put in the NFL and what people have said about him is all true as far as what I've seen so far. But we're in the infantry stages, and we'll see how it goes.
Coach, along the lines of Alex getting chemistry with the guys, do you find that since he doesn't have a history with the receivers, he's maybe more willing to throw to, say, Josh or Paul because he doesn't have a history like Kirk did with Ryan Grant?
Yeah, I think that'll all come. I think we have a slightly different route tree than he's used to at Kansas City or 49ers where he's played, so we expect different things, angles of throws and different route concepts here and there. But for the most part, I think he's does a great job of seeing what we're asking him to see and making the correct throw, whether it's a check down to the back or to the tight end down the seam or whatever it is, or outside receiver. I don't think he's going to discriminate from the type of throw because of who's running the route. I think he'll let the play develop and get it to the open guy, which he's done throughout his career.
It's supposed to rain for basically the next week.
Yeah, it's going to have a major effect if it rains too hard. The fields don't handle water very well, so we'll have to figure it out. We might have to slush around there one day, and some days we might have to go and do a indoor place and do a walkthrough. Come in here, maybe get a good workout in, get them working, but we'll have to adjust our plan accordingly depending on how bad the fields are and if there's lightning, obviously.
Anything else?
John's done.